Hey guys, Jackson Snapp here, bringing you another behind-the-scenes look at the A Chance Worth Taking EP. This time we're going to be looking at the B-side track Confliction. So Confliction kind of came about, the idea just being, these sort of inner battles that we kind of all deal with. So in order to depict that musically, the beginning and end, like electro sections, are written in triplet format, whereas the breakdown, build, and melodic drop are 4/4, just straight time. So, kind of conflicting ideas there. Yeah, so let's just take a look at the project file. Alright, so if we start at the intro, we have a couple of percussion loops just kind of stacked on top of each other here with kick, and this ARP is slowly filtering in. There's this little atmospheric A minor atmosphere here, if you can hear that. But yeah, so just kind of comes up to ARP slowly coming in, and then the bass lines start coming in. A little 3-tom hit right there. But yeah, the electro section comes in, and we have kick, sub, 2 basses, the atmosphere still going, an exhaust hit, and then this pad comes in. So the basses, it's just 2 patches. So I had to bounce them to audio just because CPU was kind of struggling there. But yeah, so we come on up through here. Let's see. Yeah, so it's a little snare fill right here. The rides come in. This siren here is just a serum patch. Let's see here, this guy. So it's just so yeah, it starts like lower notes, and then it goes up to the higher notes here. You just kind of hear it in the background. So yeah, the ARP comes in, some sweeps, white noise, and then we enter the breakdown. So So yeah, the breakdown is essentially the sub brought the volume down a little bit because it can get loud in the breakdowns if you're not careful. The electro bass, the highs are cut out for this section, so it acts more like a drone. And then we have the pads bounced out here. This atmosphere again, the A minor constellations from the Virtual Riot pack. This little lead starts filtering in. Some delay and reverb on Yeah, so this is just sort of a snare build that goes into this final little fill here. So what I did was to kind of make it flow is filtered out the highs from this other snare fill, and so it just kind of flowed into this final little fill before the drop hits the melodic drop. And then yeah, just some sweeps, tonal risers, and whatnot building up into that. So then we have the melodic drop, pretty standard stuff here, just kick, sub, the electro bass, or the bass here is bounced out, mid bass, some support leads, supersaws, white noise, and strings, and then just some sweeps and whatnot. We'll get to the risers in a second. So yeah, the lead, let's see here. So yeah, you know, aside from just having supersaws blasting in the drop, kind of have varying leads, one panned a little bit to the left, one panned a little bit to the right, just to kind of add some more character to that top end, and you know, widen out those leads a little bit. So yeah, a lot of times when I'm like building up to a section where, like, for instance, this other lead comes in here, I'll build like these risers in serum or something where it's just, you know, like a note coming up, so it kind of leads into it. So we'll just play it here. Tom fill. Looks like just a bunch of cashmere toms kind of specced out here. A little snare hit thrown in there too. Yeah, again, as with A Chance Worth Taking, the reverbed saw bounces are not showing up here, but I still plan to do another little tutorial on that guy, so just stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's a little snare build out. And there's the snare build volume right here just coming up, so it goes quiet to loud. You could also draw in the velocity if you want it to just like make it gradually come up. But yeah, then breaks down into this little bridge section that eventually, you know, goes into the back into the electro. Looks like my project froze up on me. Shit. Alright, sorry about that. We're back. Not sure why that happened. It's pretty rare these days. Anyways, the melodic drop comes to this section where it breaks down, and then it's like a little bridge back into the electro for the outro. So let's see here. Cool little drum fill here. Let's see. I usually chop up the samples so that like there's like no bleed into the next one. So you'll see this tom gets cut off where this snare comes in, and then same thing right here. Yeah, another little fill. And with the toms, a lot of times I like to sort of pan them different ways so you get a little bit of stereo play. Let's see, yeah, you can see these guys. This one's panned a little bit to the left, a little bit to the left, and this one's even more to the left. Almost like, you know, how a drum set would be set up, where the toms might all be on the same side. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, similar to A Chance Worth Taking, the sub was pretty much built the same way. Basses, you know, I had OTT and some Saturn and trash thrown on. Super saws, pretty similar setup. And then the support leads, pretty much the same thing, just you know, cutting some lows and some highs, a little bit of OTT and some Saturn, that basic saturator O preset. Make sure you guys are cutting not only, you know, the information you don't need in the lower frequency, but also up in the top end as well. You basically want to leave that room for your cymbals and your white noise. So if you have a bunch of synths like leads, saws, and basses and everything that all have that top frequency in there, it's just going to clutter up and mask your cymbals and white noise. Something I didn't realize for a long time, and you know, I feel like it definitely made a huge difference once I started cleaning that up. So yeah, again, you know, if you guys have any other questions or want me to go into anything in more depth, just leave a comment and I'll be happy to put something together. So, yep.